The cosmic predator no one sees. The story on November 28, 2010. Astronomers watched something eat a star. Not collapse it. Not explode it. Consume it. The star was there, burning for billions of years, and then in 47 minutes it was gone, stripped, shredded, and pulled into something that wasn't there before. The feeding frenzy released more energy than our sun will produce in its entire lifetime. But here's what made every astronomer go quiet. When they looked for what ate it, they found nothing. No black hole signature. No neutron star. No massive object that could explain the gravitational forces required. Just empty space that somehow learned to hunt. And it's happened 847 more times since then. Stars vanishing in the same way. Consumed by something invisible. Something that moves. Something that's getting closer. Dr. Morik Kim at the Chandra X-ray Observatory wasn't studying predators. She was mapping ordinary galaxy clusters when her instruments caught something that violated everything we know about how space works. A star in NGC 4845 to 26 million light-years away started behaving wrong. Its light curve showed distortion. Not the symmetric dimming you'd expect from a planet passing in front, or the predictable fluctuation of a binary system. This was directional. As if something was approaching the star from one side. Pulling at it. Testing it. When a star gets too close to a massive object, a black hole, typically, tidal forces rip it apart. The side facing the massive object experiences stronger gravity than the far side. This differential tears the star into a stream of plasma called an accretion flow. We call it spaghettification. It's violent, but it follows rules. Mathematical rules. Predictable patterns. But what Mora observed didn't follow the rules. The star wasn't just torn apart by gravity. It was systematically dismantled. Outer layers stripped first. Core exposed. Then consumed in a specific sequence. Like something knew what it was doing. Like something had done this before. Like hunting. And here's what made her blood run cold. When she checked historical data, she found 846 other identical feeding events. All in the last 40 years. All showing the same methodical consumption pattern. But they weren't random. They formed a path. A trajectory through space. Something was traveling through the universe, feeding as it went. And the path led toward our galaxy. The question that haunted every astronomer: what the hell is it? Not a black hole, wrong accretion signature. Not a neutron star, no electromagnetic emissions. Not dark matter doesn't interact this way. Not any known stellar object. Whatever it is, it's invisible to every detection method we have. But its effects are obvious. Stars die. Matter vanishes. Energy spikes briefly, then silence. This is where it gets classified. And terrifying. The Department of Defense has been tracking the feeding events independently. Not for astronomy. For threat assessment. Because they calculated something civilian astronomers didn't want to admit. At its current velocity and trajectory, the predator will enter our galaxy's outer halo in approximately 1,200 years. And when it does, it won't just be distant stars in foreign galaxies. It'll be our neighbors. Alpha Centauri. Barnard's star. Proxima. Eventually, statistically, inevitably, our sun. But there's something worse. Something the military discovered that astronomers missed because they weren't looking for it. The predator isn't alone. Using gravitational microlensing, the way massive objects bend light from background stars, they found at least 17 similar objects. All moving. All following similar paths through the cosmos. Not random wanderers. Coordinated. Herding stars into higher density regions before feeding. Pack hunting behavior. On a cosmic scale. And here's the nightmare detail buried in the classified report. Analysis of historical supernovae data suggests these things have been hunting in our galaxy for at least 10 million years. They're not invaders. They're native predators. And we just never knew they existed because we're not on their menu. Yet, the scientific community fractured into competing theories, each more disturbing than the last. We can only detect 5% of the universe. The other 95% is dark matter and dark energy, substances we know exist only through their gravitational effects. We can't see them. Can't touch them. Can't interact with them through any force except gravity. But what if some of that dark matter isn't inert? What if it's structured? Organized? What if, in the dark matter realm, evolution happened just like it did with normal matter? Complexity emerging. Metabolism developing. Life. Theory 1. Dark matter predators. If life evolved in the dark matter realm, it would be invisible to us. It would interact with normal matter only through gravity. And if it fed on energy, specifically, nuclear fusion energy from stellar cores, it would look exactly like what we're observing. Imagine a shark you couldn't see, swimming through an ocean you couldn't detect, that only became apparent when it bit you. That's what we might be dealing with. Theory 2. Vacuum decay bubbles. Stranger possibility. Our universe exists in a false vacuum, a higher energy state that's temporarily stable but could collapse to a lower energy state. When it does, the transition creates an expanding bubble of true vacuum that destroys everything in its path. What if the predators aren't creatures? What if they're propagating vacuum decay events that look like they're hunting because they grow by consuming matter energy? Not alive. Just physics. Catastrophic, consuming, unstoppable physics that mimics predation. Theory 3. Transcended civilizations. The darkest theory. They're what happens after the technological singularity. Civilizations that advanced beyond physical form, uploaded themselves into exotic matter states we can't detect. And they feed on stars because that's the most efficient energy source in the universe. Not evil. Just hungry. Indifferent to the biological life orbiting those stars the way you're indifferent to the bacteria living on an apple you're eating. 3 weeks ago, something happened on the International Space Station that didn't make the news. Astronauts reported instruments malfunctioning. Specifically, gravitational wave detectors, experimental equipment designed to sense ripples in spacetime. The readings showed something massive passing through the inner solar system. Between Mars and Jupiter. Moving at 0.01% the speed of light. Nothing was there. No asteroid. No comet. No rogue planet. But the gravitational signature was unmistakable. Something with the mass of Jupiter passed through our solar system. And it came close to Saturn. Close enough that Saturn's rings rippled. Visibly disturbed by gravitational influence from something that wasn't there. Then it left. Moving on a trajectory that will take it to Proxima Centauri, which has a confirmed terrestrial planet. And a sun that's been burning for 4.85 billion years. One of the predators scouted our system. And moved on. Why? After the ISS incident, researchers went back through 50 years of SETI data, signals from space we'd dismissed as noise. And they found something we'd missed because we weren't looking for it. A repeating signal. Low-frequency gravitational waves, pulsing every 847 seconds, coming from 47 different sources throughout the galaxy. When decoded, and decoded is generous, we barely understand it, the signal contains a warning. Not in language. In mathematics. Universal. Unmistakable. Do not emit. Do not shine. Brightness attracts them. The predators hunt by energy signature. Stars that burn bright attract them. And we've been broadcasting into space for 100 years. Radio waves. Television. Radar. We've been ringing the dinner bell. Lou Sixon's dark forest hypothesis suggests the universe is silent because survival requires silence. Any civilization that broadcasts its existence becomes a target. Not because of malicious aliens. Because of optimization. In a resource-limited universe, the safest strategy is eliminating potential competitors before they become threats. But we've been thinking too small. The hypothesis assumes civilizations are the threat. What if the real predators don't care about civilizations? What if they hunt stars? And civilizations are just collateral damage. Dr. Kim made a discovery that changed everything. She wasn't studying the predators anymore. She was studying their prey. Stars in our galaxy fall into population groups based on age and composition. Population I, young, metal-rich. Population II, older, metal-poor. Population 3, hypothetical first-generation stars we've never found. We've never found population 3 stars because they should all be dead, collapsed into black holes billions of years ago. But the math doesn't work. There should be remnants. Signatures. Traces. There aren't any. And Dr. Kim realized why. They were eaten. Every population 3 star, the first generation, the brightest, the most massive, was systematically hunted and consumed billions of years ago when the predators first emerged. And here's the existential horror. The predators aren't just hunting. They're farming. The pattern isn't random predation. It's cultivation. The predators target old, massive stars, the ones near the end of their lives. They're harvesting them before they go supernova. Collecting the energy before it's wasted in an explosion. And by doing so, they're extending the productive lifetime of the galaxy. Fewer supernovae mean more stable stellar neighborhoods. More time for new stars to form. More time for civilizations to develop. We're not being hunted. We're being maintained. The predators are farming the galaxy. Pruning it. Managing stellar populations for maximum long-term productivity. And we, all civilizations, are just microbes living on the crops. Irrelevant to the actual purpose. Too small to notice. Too insignificant to matter. 2 days ago, something appeared in our solar system. And this time, it wasn't passing through. An invisible mass, roughly 3.7 Jupiter masses, holding position just beyond Saturn's orbit. Not moving. Not feeding. Watching. And the sun started behaving strangely. Asymmetric solar wind. Directional coronal mass ejections. The sun is being probed. Examined. Evaluated. The predator is determining if our star is ready for harvest. Our sun is middle-aged. Not ready yet. But being marked. Catalogued. Put on the list for eventual harvest. Dr. Kim released her final analysis yesterday. The conclusion that made her cry. The predators aren't malicious. They're not evil. They're gardeners. They're maintaining the galaxy for maximum stellar productivity across billions of years. Without them, stellar evolution would be chaotic, short-term, wasteful. They're optimizing the universe for the longest possible productive lifetime. And in their optimization, they're giving civilizations like ours more time, more chances, more opportunities to develop, evolve, and possibly transcend. We should be grateful. But here's what she didn't say in the press conference. What she told colleagues off record. They're optimizing the galaxy for stellar productivity. Not for life. Not for civilizations. For stars. We're microbes on the crops. Bacteria in the garden. And when they harvest our sun, even 5 billion years from now, they won't notice we're here. Won't care. Won't even know we existed. We're living in a managed cosmos, and the managers don't know we exist. So let's go back to that star being consumed. The one we started with. It had 7 planets. 3 in the habitable zone. 1 showed biosignatures in its atmosphere, oxygen, methane, potential indicators of life. When the star was consumed, those planets died instantly. Frozen. Atmosphere stripped by stellar wind during feeding. Everything living on them, if anything, was gone in hours. And the predator didn't notice. Didn't know. Didn't care. We're not being hunted. We're not being farmed. We're not even being noticed. We're just in the way. The cosmic predator no one sees isn't hunting you. It's maintaining the galaxy. Optimizing stellar populations. Extending the productive lifetime of the cosmos. And in doing so, it's giving civilizations like ours more time to emerge, develop, and possibly find a way to become relevant. To become visible. To matter. But until then, until we transcend, until we become something the predators actually notice, we're just bacteria living on fruit that hasn't been picked yet. The invisible predator circling beyond Saturn isn't threatening us. It's ignoring us. We're beneath notice. Too small to matter. Too brief to acknowledge. And maybe that's the most terrifying realization of all. Not that we're being hunted, but that we're not even worth hunting. The cosmic predator no one sees isn't hiding from us. We're just too small to notice. *The end.